Hi friends, this is Praveen and today we are going to learn about how to work with your CRUD application. And the last few videos we've been introduced about how to make your tables in the form of registration form and how do you design the structure in MySQL database. So if you go with my previous videos, first of all let's go to your htdocs, and in htdocs I'm using a folder called CRUD. In CRUD we have already created a table with the last session, and you can see that the design is being created, and these fields have been created because of the form we have using it. So let me just show you what form I'm using it. I have saved my files in htdocs, that too in CRUD, so I'm typing that word. Okay, so here we have a registration form, and this based on the form fields I have just created the design in my database. So localhost PHP admin, and the things have got through because of this query has run successfully, and if MySQL underscore queries run successfully, it says table got created successfully. So you can see that the CRUD that we are using as a database, we have a table called user, and the structure says that we have some fields, and these fields I have created because we have these fields as a question in my registration form. So let's get started. How do you insert the values into the database through a registration form so that user inputs a value, something like Raj or something, and these values has to go and store in a respective database. Currently the database is empty. You can see when I click on browse, I've seen no people, or I've totally got 0 rows. So let's get started about how to insert the values. So first edit the registration form by going to htdocs. I've got my htdocs here, and I'm going to go with registration form, edit this file. So firstly we have to know how the form has to move. I'm especially being this form has got something like passwords in it, so the security has to be traveled through get or post. If you insist, I definitely say post because the password should not be view in URLs. So I'm going to travel this form through post. So I'm going to go inside the form and say method is equal to post, and action is an attribute where PHP will redirect. So I'm going to go with add users dot PHP. Okay, so this is your add users, and currently we don't have any add users page. So I'm going to create add users page by copy paste and say add users dot PHP. So this is a page we have created, add users. So let's going to edit this, and at this point of time I'm just going to say hello. So let's see whether the form is working or not. So I'm going to go and submit. Currently we have some validations to work with, so I'm going to take this too and click on register. So I'm an add user. The page is traveling through action, and the method is going through post. You can see that. So first and foremost thing is you should know all the field names that have been inside the elements. The name of the first name or name is, I've got like name as fname, and currently we have email as email, dob as my name, pwd, and we have something called cpwd, and we have name is gent, and the value of gent is male, and we have something called languages as lang, and country as count, that you can see here. Okay, so the country as count, and address name is addr, picture name is pic, and we have submit name as submit. So I'm going to go to my add registration form and write a PHP query by typing this as if is set of $_post of submit, then only open this page. Okay, now say hello, else just go back to the same page. So how do you redirect this? You need to have a headers, and I'm going to say location, and I'm going to go back to the same page, which form.php. So let's get started and see how the page is working. So I'm sorry for this. I'm going to go to this page and type it here, something called name, and just go and send this submit. And so you're being saying as hello because you can see the code is hello here, and this hello is only working because you have submitted. Now that when I submit, just give me a second here. Now that I have submitted, it's saying hello. But if you directly visit this page and hit on enter, suppose I'm typing the URL directly, adduser.php, and hit on enter, it just adduser.php. So if we set off $_post of submit, open this page, else header location regeform.php. So is it add user or add users? I'm sorry, this is add users. So if you directly type the URL like addusers.php, it is jumping to regeform. Again, you can see addusers.php. So this is back to regeform. So you would be finding the hello. You would be finding the hello only if you submit. For this has to be validated. So I'm just going to take this and submit. I've got hello. So this is well and good. So I've been here. First of all, you take all the values that are being inserted by the users. So I'm going to say $n as name is equal to $_post of name. So I'm going to say name as fname. So this is fname. In the same way, copy all the values. So first of all, you need to know what values will be coming. So I'm going to say name, email, date of birth. So I'm going to copy this. Okay. And the second variable we get is email. So I'm typing email. And the third variable we have is date of birth, and respectively I'm going to change the variables with $e as email, $d as date of birth. Let's see what we have to create for this. We need a password, so I'm going to say p as password, and I'm going to say this as pwd, and we are going to change the gender with gen, and this is going to go with G. Confirm password is not to be needed to save in database, because anyhow user will check this twice by entering this, and this says it's an invalid password or mismatched password. So if user can type both correct twice, so obviously I will store that only once. So that's why my design of the structure has got only password, not confirm password I'm storing. You can see the structure that we have only password, not confirm password. The second then is we have is gender, and the gender is that we have used as gen. Next we need languages, so I'm going to say lang, and this will be stored in a variable called L, and further I'm going to go with country as C, and we are going to say this as town. Okay, and what value is going to be coming from countries? We have respectively India as INDIA, United States as value, and the holder is count. So the country size we have dedicated is 100. So United States will definitely fit in varchar 100. Next thing is we have address. So I'm going to say ADDR. That's an address variable we have created, and I'm going to spell this for A. So these are the variables which we are holding, but we will go with image later. So I want to test whether the variables are working or not. So I'm going to echo this only name and see whether these variables are working or not. So let's go and submit the values. The first person we are joining is Rajesh, and we have Raj at gmail.com, and we have 1985, and then we go with 12, and date of birth I'm going to pass is 24, and we are going to enter some password, and I'm going to type this same password. And mail, I'm going to choose English, Hindi, Telugu, and I'm going to go with India. Post box, we have some values as this, and page, we're just going to go with Hyderabad. And so anyhow, we are not working with photos at this point of time, so I'm going to submit, and this will give me name value inside $n. So let's see. Okay, I've got name as Rajesh. Now if you echo this one, so I'm going to remove this. You can see that we have echo here. Okay, so I'm going to change this way echo to a different variable, so that whether it will work or not, we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to X mark this and paste it here and see whether email is working or not. So I'm going to go and refresh this. Yeah, I've got like raj@gmail.com. Again, I'm going to tell you that we are working with echo once again. So I'm going to cut this and just paste it here, and let's see whether date of birth is working. I'm going to refresh. The refresh can be done with the mouse or F5. In my cases, I'm refreshing through F5. So you can see that we have date of birth working, so that's good. And I'm going to change this to password, and let's see. Yeah, I've got like password readable right now, but I'm going to change it to SHA-1. What is the password size we have set is SHA-1. So I'm trying this encryption with 40, so I'm going to use SHA-1. Okay, so I've got my password there. Next we are going to go with gender. Okay, and refresh this page. Now I do see gender is male, and I'm going to X mark this and paste it. I'm not going to paste on language, I'll let you know later. So I'm going to have C as country, and let's save this page and refresh it. So I've got country with India, that's good. And the last one is address. I'm going to paste it and refresh this page. So all the values are coming. The only thing to check is language. So I'm going to X mark this and keep this into the variable L and refresh this page. Okay, now that you have seen a problem is there that this is an array. So language is an array, so you have to make sure that these values have to be stored as English, Hindi, Telugu. You cannot normally store the arrays into the database with a 0 putting English and 1 giving you Hindi as an array. So what I will do is I'll convert this into an English sentence. So I'm going to use implode. Implode will take actually two arguments. The first one is an argument separated by comma, which I'm going to need as argument that this is comma I need, and this comma is an argument which separates the second argument, and as usual this is an array. So an array is being now converted to an English sentence with comma as a separator. Now if you can see this, when I refresh, I do see that the comma is the one which you are getting because of implode is joining comma with all your arrays and converting this into a single sentence. So I've got like English, Hindi, Telugu. That's fine. So all the variables values are available. The last thing I need is I need a photo. So I'm going to write one code. If set of $_post of, sorry, not post, this is files. So we are going to work with files. If set of $_files of pic, okay, pic, then only open this page and say echo hello. Okay, so echo hello, else you can say this as echo file is empty. So let's go and say hello or empty. I have to see that. So I'm going to refresh this, okay, and refresh this. File is empty. So first problem is I'm not sure whether it is really file empty or not. First of all, you have to think about a registration form has to get a form, but when you're working with files, you need to have encrypt type. Encrypt type is equal to multi-part form data, so that your form will be encrypted multi times and maybe it will be secured. Now when I submit this, I'm sorry, I'm not going to send any values, neither I'm checking any variables with echo. So I have to go with hello or file is empty. So I'm going to go and submit this as this validations are compulsory. So I'm going to submit this. It is still saying hello. The reason is files are working. The files variables of super global variable is only working because you have added encrypt type. But I wasn't expecting hello because the file was empty. See, the file is empty but still saying hello. So I have to see, guys, first of all I'm checking variable pic is available or not. So if you can understand this, see, I've got like some photo. I'm going to go with my desktop. You can see that I'm in my desktop, and in desktop I have a users. I'm going to add this photo, press.jpg. So you can see that the holder name is pic, and who is holding this? Press.jpg. The problem is this is set of $_files of pic. Yes, pic is set in this form, pic is set, but the only problem is whether value is set or not. Is value empty or not? So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write one more condition, and $_files of size of pic and size. I'm going to write here size should be greater than 0, then only say hello. Let's see whether it's saying hello or not. So when I submit this, okay, I've got like this validations to add. So when I submit this, it is saying file is empty. Obviously the file is empty. You can see the file is empty and it is saying file is empty. But when I click on submit and add one photo, this time it is not saying, at least I'm in a hello. So you are in a hello. Now you need to take this file and send it into temporary location. So how do you send this into temporary location is $_files of pic and tmp_name, a predefined keyword which will send the files to a temporary location. Now once it got uploaded to temporary location, I'm going to check whether it is a genuine file, is it uploadable file or not. So I'm going to write if is_uploaded file of $temp. Okay, then give me the original name of the file. So I'm going to say original name is equal to, let's say I'm going to go with $_files of pic. And how do you get the original name of the file? By writing name of the file. This will give you original name of the file. Now I'm going to go with name is equal to $original name, which is chris.jpg, together with randomizing get ran. Okay, I have got some randomizing number which goes with this, and now I need to go with creating a random number. So I'm going to go and writing a function. Okay, so let's try to create a function for it. So this is getRan. I have to create a function for it, and I'm going to paste this here, a function. So we have got a function getRan which is matching here, and this getRan is trying to shuffle all the alphanumeric characters within as well as the binary values, and it's going to shuffle, and this shuffle is kept in str variable, and str is again randomizing with crypt, one more randomizing, and to this randomizing we are again shuffling and getting out of it a SHA-1 which will give you 40 characters alphanumeric. That's what is returning. So I'm going to expect here a SHA-1 with 40 characters, which is multi times shuffling the characters. So I'm going to get 40 dash Andy or chris.jpg. So once I got the original name of the file, where is the location to be uploaded? So I'm going to go with uploading destination is images. First of all, you need to know the destination path. So if you can go with our destination, I'm going to go and actually see guys, this will upload to temporary location. From temporary location, normally it should be C. Temporary location is C, something around your hard disk path, XAMPP and temp. So this is where, and you should remember that this is a comment. So the temporary path is being uploaded. Now I've got this into the original name, and this is getting randomizing. Now you need to move this from temporary location to destination location. So I'm going to go with images. I've got like images, that's my current path. See, this is where I'm writing the code, add users. From images I'm going to go to users, and then I'm going to go and give the original name of the file. So I'm going to concat this and say $name. So $name is 40 digits, andy.jpg, uploading to image, users, original name. So how do you move it? Move _uploaded file of temporary location and destination location. So this function is a predefined function which will move the file from the first argument is a path where the temporary location is. So from temporary location it will move to the destination location, images, user, and this name is a 40 digits, and this one. So now that we have uploaded path, and this is something called a set of this. So I'm out of this else part. Now I'm going to write a query. SQL is equal to insert into users. You need to know all the field names. So let's go and get that field names. This is your database. Insert into field names. ID, it will be auto inserted, so we are going to write this field. Insert into users, name, that's my first field, next we have email, then we have DOB, and then we have keyword. I do think that you are able to understand. I'm copying from here. Next we have gender and language, and then country, and then we have address, and then pick. That's all. And values is going to be, I'm going to say name as $n, which is holding Rajesh, supposed to be holding Rajesh. In the same way we have name as n, and we have $e as email. And please, you should understand I'm copying these variables, $e as email, and then we have $d as date of birth, and $p as password, and the password has to be converted to SHA1, so I'm going to enclose this inside the parenthesis. That's done. Next we have password, then we have gender $G, and then language $L, and then country $C, and $A as an address, and picture I'm going to take this one. And if you are not sure what I took, this will be a name which is a 40 digits, and this is Chris. So 40 plus dash is a 41 characters, and Chris.jpg. So overall it will fit in within 50 characters. Maybe this time not Chris, it's a Amit Reddy. It could be some 12 characters or something with 40 characters with dash. Maybe it's a 60 characters. So obviously the varchar is in position to take 100 characters. Okay. So now that the values are being inserted, so I'm going to run my query. If MySQL underscore query of $SQL has been successfully inserting, you have to move from this page to another page. Like I'm going to go for show users.php. So if you are able to move, and this can be moved with location header, so location header is moving, and exit out of the page because further there is nothing to read. Else we'll just go for displaying some error, and you can see my previous code that I have written here. My previous code is here. Let's say I'm going to go with my previous code, create TB, and you can see that if query went success, it's okay, or unable to create. So I'm going to copy this else part and going to go with add user, and I'm going to paste it here, claiming unable to insert details, and this is going to be reason is MySQL underscore error. So this will explain the error of what went wrong. So that's more than enough for me. So let's go and run this code. Firstly, well, let's see, in users I have got no photos. Okay, so let's going to go. You should understand this is htdocs crud, and in crud we have image. In image users we don't have any pictures. So I'm going to go and register for the first time with my details with raj@gmail.com, and we have some date of birth and some password. Okay, and confirm password. And then this is gender male, English, Hindi, Telugu, and he's choosing India, and I'm going to write this as PO box, some values, and I'm going to say page. We have Hyderabad. So I'm going to browse this and add one photo of this one, which is chris.jpg. I'm going to submit this. Unable to insert details. Reason, what is it saying is, you can see that its query is not working. This thread is not working. Unable to insert details. Reason is no database selected. So you should understand one thing, that when you go and run this query is supposed to insert the details in a table. Okay, now this table needs a database, so I'm going to go in within the submit, include underscore ones. Okay, so what we are going to include is, I'm going to include this person. Let's say we have something called, you can see in my connect.php. In connect.php we have connected and as well as selected the database. So now that this page can allow me to connect and select the database, I've added this page here, include underscore once connect.php. Now this particular connections will establish me to connect to the server as well as database. See, this is connecting to the server and selecting the database called CRUD. And after selecting the database, you can see that the query is working with insert query and inserting the queries. If query went successful, it should be supposed to throw you in show users.php. Let's go and see once again. I'll try one more time. Okay, let's try to go and add the details once again. raj@gmail.com. I've got my password like something, sorry, date of birth is this, and I'm going to type my password. And then this is gender male, and we have English, Hindi, Telugu, has been opted with all choices and going with India. And this time I'm going to go with PO box, some number, and Amir 8, Hyderabad, and I'm going to browse this with this photo open. Now you should know where the photos I'm getting it from. I'm getting it from my desktop users. This is my path called desktop, and in this we have something called users, and I've got like chris.jpg and register. The moment I submit, if the query went successful, he should be throwing me to, if query went successful, he should throw me to show users, and I don't think we have show users.php. So I'm going to create this page. Which page we need? Show users.php. So I'm going to go and create this page. Currently we are going to just write some dummy data. So we'll go and remove this and say wow values what inserted. I will actually change this page with some design and pretty much sure that we are going to add show users details, but at this point of time this is the only line it will execute. So let's go and submit. Now you can see it's just saying show users. So I do believe that the values have been inserted. So you can see the values here in my database. When I go and click on users, last time it was having 0 records, but now I've got my first details, Rajesh with raj@gmail.com, and the date of birth, and the password is converted to Shaban. You can see that the gender is male, and we have English, Hindi, Telugu with India as a country, and we have address as this much. And the picture that we are holding here, you can see my code. The picture that I'm sending here, this is picture, and this is sending $name, and $name is having randomizing. You can see that randomizing number and separated with dash. You can see that dash here. See, I hope if I can zoom it for you, you can see that this dash is here. Okay, so back to normal. So this dash with this provided by me, and this is chris.jpg. You can see chris.jpg, and rest of the details, it's been loading registered on, and the status currently is inactive. So these are the details that we have inserted. Let's try one more record. So I'm going to go and insert one more record, and that should be started with richform.php again. So I'm going to register something like Kavita, and I have kavi@live.com, and she's born in 1998, and she's on 12, and this is going to be 11, and her password is something that she should know, and this is again confirm password, and she's female, and I'm going to go and set with English, Hindi. So Kavita knows only English and Hindi, and she's also from United States, and the address that she's going to provide is, and yes, so this is an address, and we have a Kavita photo here. This is again in desktop, okay, in users, and this is a photo, and open. This photo is randomizing with 40 with dash, and then submit. Now you can see that this is also saying show users has been inserted the values. Now you can see when I browse it, I've got the second person details in my database, and I do see that her name is ID number 2 Kavita, kavi@live.com, and I'm not sure what went wrong, pretty much whether I have given some wrong format or not, because maybe probably I have done something wrong that it hasn't got inserted. So anyhow, I'll get in this changing. So currently maybe I have some wrong format issue supplied, so I will be changing it directly here with edit this. I'm sorry for this, but because of not being me actually might have done wrong. So I'm going to change it here 1998 with 12 and 24. Okay, so this is going to go and update the details like go. Okay, now you can see back that we have currently 2 users, Kavita with Kavi, her date of birth, her password, her gender is female. Now Kavita knows only English Hindi. She's from United States and from New York, and she's got her own details, and this is a registered time, which is a difference of 22 to 25, means it's just 3 minutes a difference. So everything's been up and running. So in this way I can hardly hold somewhere around many users. So my database is now getting started to install all the values. But the reason that you have to currently know is that this registration form is working well, and every time a new user will register, okay, so every time a new user will register, it's going to throw in show users. And one more thing is, you should know the photos that are coming, or the photos that I'm picking is from desktop users. These are the 2 photos have been picked till now. Now you can see that these photos are in my server. You can see that this is htdocs crud, and in crud I have actually told the path should be image users. So I've wrote the code here, image users, and I've got these 2 people here. So it's been stored in my htdocs as my server path, and this path, if you can see in my database, the link is being created. So if you can see pictures, suppose this is Kavita. What is Kavita's picture? It's already holding her details with 74B, and you can see that in my place, in my hard disk, it's holding the same details at 74B. So that's pretty well. Now guys, now that we have done or understand how to create the details or how to register the values, and all the details are currently going to show users.php. So now that the values have been inserted, okay, now that the values have been inserted, so let's see one more last record. I'm going to go with Amit, and Amit at gmail.com. I've got like 19 something like, I'm going to take this one, 1998 1109, and this is going to be password. And we have mail. He knows all the languages, and he's from currently United Kingdom. So the address I have to go and give is this much, and I'm going to say UK, and pretty much his photo should be different. So this is Amit, and I'm going to submit, and everybody is getting registered. It's going to show users, and you can see that the third person is getting just now registered is Amit Reddy with his details, and date of birth is working fine, and you can see the values are being inserted successfully. In this way I can insert millions of records currently, but all records are being inserted through the registration form. So if you can see here, the values are getting registered through registration form, and when I submit, if the values have successfully inserted to the database, it is just shooting away back to show users.php. So now that I know how to insert the values, the second thing is, how do you fetch the values from the database of how many people have registered? So I want to know how many people have registered and all those things. So further to this continuation, I'm going to work with another video of this how do you fetch the details from database. This is how to insert the details to the database. Now who is registered, how many people have registered, what is their name, what is their date of birth. I want to fetch those details. So I'm going to work with this next session of the video, and I hope you are enjoying this video. So I'll get in touch with you on the next session of this video of continuation. Okay guys, I hope you enjoy this video, and this is Praveen signing out. I'll catch you on another video. Okay, bye.